Good morning, McGuanago. Welcome back from the den, where all things McGuanago are open for discussion. The podcast where we share stories, people, and projects that make McGuanago such a special place to be. I am your host, Diana Dykstra, Village Administrator, and today's episode is with the McGuanago Chamber of Commerce. Joining me today is Executive Director April Reszka. April,
Hello.
how are you?
Thank you for having me to the den, Diana.
I love that.
Oh,
Let's start with a little bit of background. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
all right. Well, my husband and I moved out to McGuanago back in 2004. We built our home out here with the goal to be in before the children went to school because we have a great school district in our area. So,
Yes.
um,
That
yes,
is the number one thing we hear, just so you know, from everybody is a reason why they move here.
yeah. Besides it being safe and
Yeah, well,
all
yeah,
of that,
that
but
too.
yeah. But at the time, I was working in telecommunications and I was in sales, and my boss said everyone needs to be part of their local chamber of commerce. So all of us joined our local chambers. I had no idea what the chamber was about at the time, and of course, started volunteering right away. So my first committee was Fall Fest.
Oh,
Yeah, and
trial by fire.
this is back when Fall Fest was in the parking lot of Mount Olive's church,
Oh my God.
and it was so small, there was just pumpkin painting, and we had a little swimming pool with sand and pumpkins. You picked your number and you got a prize. And now it's village-wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so at the time, ironically, I ended up being part of the board of directors. I was elected, and then eventually was president. And during my presidency, my company had a reorg and eliminated positions. And I had a non-compete at the time. And my husband and I had a heart-to-heart about how much I enjoyed the chamber. And, maybe you should step down from the board and apply. And maybe, it'd be something that you'd really enjoy. I wouldn't have to travel as much. The kids were little.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So that's what I did. And I ended up
Nice.
getting the position as the executive director.
Awesome.
So
How many years has it been then?
16 years. It'll be 17 in
16.
January. So it's been quite some
Wow.
time.
That
Yeah.
is.
And at the
Lots of
time, I thought
changes.
maybe just a couple years or so, but I've enjoyed it so much that I'm still here.
Yes, yes. So just because I'm not quite sure everyone understands what role the chamber plays in a community, it's not just ribbon cuttings and events.
That's
Tell
correct.
us the mission of the Mugwanago Area Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, wonderful. The mission of the Chamber of Commerce is to it's basically about dedicated leadership, which I'll get into in a little bit about my board of directors. But we're committed as a group to promoting positive business environment in Mugwanago, supporting economic development through networking, educating, and promoting. And so we're just a voice and a resource for local businesses. We're different from the village,
Yeah.
obviously, but we partner very closely with you.
Yep.
So our board of directors, there are some similarities to government, but our bylaws state that we have 7 to 12 directors at any given time, and those directors can do 3 3-year terms if they're reelected.
Okay.
So after 9 years, you have to take a year off before you can get back on and volunteer again. And believe it or not, I've had a couple that have
So,
done that.
so they're
Yeah,
volunteer positions. They don't get paid.
they do not get paid.
And how does someone become a member of the board of directors?
So they're elected in. So every year, the chamber, we talk with people that may be interested, and they're elected in by the membership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting because some of those terms all end around the same time. So I could end up with maybe 2 people that have been around a while, and like within 2 years, 8 new people.
So
So
that changes a lot of the landscape of a lot of decisions that get made all the time because you just don't know who that group is going to be making that decision. So have we had really good consistency so far?
Yeah, we
I guess I
have.
don't know the inner workings of the chamber, so I just,
I've been really lucky because they're my bosses essentially.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I've been really lucky to have them, and they become great friends, and we stay
right.
in touch after their terms are done. And
I know how crazy it can be if you have a lot of turnover on a governing body when you're in a municipality. So I can assume it's probably the same way. You got to get to know them again. You've got to bring new things forward, and
absolutely,
and there's a whole new
but a
learning
lot of new
curve.
ideas,
Yeah,
which is great.
right, right.
Yeah,
So, can anyone in the village be a member of the Chamber of Commerce? Is it just for businesses, or can people be a member? And then what are what does someone get from that membership, I guess, is the
sure.
question.
That's a great question. So you do not have to live or have a business in McGuanago to be part of the
Oh,
chamber.
okay.
So we're the McGuanago Area Chamber because we
Got
encompass
it.
the areas
Yes.
surrounding our community as well. So probably the furthest member would be Lake Geneva, Waterford, some of the smaller towns that don't have chambers or don't have an active chamber.
Okay.
So, and you can be a member of multiple chambers, whatever benefits
Sure.
your business
That
the
makes
most.
sense.
Yep. We
It's
do have.
advertising and marketing for a business or a small business. Get
Absolutely.
your name out
If you're
there.
looking to move into, a new community, it's perfect to join the chamber in that community for your business to grow
Yeah.
in that direction. But yeah, so basically the membership, I like to say, is kind of like a gym membership. Like you have to be a member, a paying member, and then you have to put your time and effort in.
Yeah.
So, you can't come back at the end of the year and say, I didn't lose any weight. Well, you didn't come to the gym at all. So, um, it's beneficial for people to be active, members of the chamber. Um, I'm trying to think of the other part of the question
So
that,
what does it do you have a cost structure, or how does that work?
yeah, so a general membership would be about $199 a year,
That's it?
which is
Okay.
less than $17
Okay.
a
Yeah,
month.
I was gonna say that I thought it would be much more. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and it is based off of the type of businesses and such. So that would be like a retail establishment.
Okay.
The banks and manufacturers and things are a little bit different, but
Okay.
for the most part, that's a pretty average.
So how do you have tiers and different levels based on the number of employees or the size of their business? How does that work?
Yes, and that just depends on the type of business. If it's full-time equivalents for manufacturing,
Okay.
for example, banks are based off of money.
Oh, okay.
Their
Interesting.
assets. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but actually, the membership, it's huge. We have a lot of benefits to it. First, you have your own ambassador. So the ambassadors are people that have been with the chamber for a long time and know how to make the most of their membership. So if you come to an event and I'm busy and you're shy, you have your ambassador there, to introduce you to people. We have member-to-member discounts. So you have a card that you can get a discount at other members that offer, like the vets in town. You get 10% off with
Interesting.
your card,
Okay.
or different restaurants and such. And then also, you have a discount for any of the events. So you don't have to be a member for some of the events, like vendor wise. We just have a different fee. The members get a discount.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So, for instance, if someone is a chamber member and they wanted a table at, say, Fall Fest or Farmers Market, or is that what you're
primitive
saying?
magic.
They get a discount rate?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice.
But mainly, I think the biggest thing is because of the power of having 250 members. If you log in and give us your events through our website, they go to the community calendar. We get a lot more hits that way, than if you just on your own are trying to promote your own event.
Yeah.
You upload your information like you guys do with Phantom Junction. It comes
Yeah.
over to us,
Yeah.
and then it goes right on our website, our social media, and we know that we need to promote
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Any way we can get our information out is nice. Um, so do you ever have the small businesses, or do you work with the smaller businesses, the one or two person shop who can't afford 199? Is there another option for them at all?
We do make payment arrangements.
Okay.
So a lot of times a new business has a lot of bills initially,
Yeah.
and they just pay their setup fee. It's a $35 fee, and then we just kind of
Over
whittle
time.
away at
That's
their membership.
wonderful.
Yeah,
That makes it feel better, I think. I often hear that comment, "Oh, I can't afford to join the chamber," but, learning about those opportunities, I think is good for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the other big things that we do as the chamber is we like to celebrate all the milestones of the businesses. So, after you folks get a new business to come to town, which is a great partnership, then we
Yes.
help out on the end of, doing the grand opening, the ribbon cutting, open houses, business expansions, anniversaries, and any special occasion that a business wants to, you know, um,
We do appreciate that too,
yeah.
because it is so hard to get businesses in here. And sometimes you don't always know what businesses are coming in, and we don't always know, someone may join the chamber before they actually get their occupancy permit or something like that.
Yeah,
So
it's
we have to
interesting kind
hand
of
in
how that,
hand. Yeah.
yep, how that works. Um, but it's all about taking these new people that come in and introducing them to the other business members, teach them about the community and what's all available to them, and have them make meaningful relationships for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great too because there is so much going on. I always look at us as the hub. It's nice for someone to come in the office, church, and say, "Hey, we're thinking about doing live music once a month, the next 3 months." I'm able to say, "Well, you don't want to do it on
This date,
Thursdays
because
because,
this, yeah,
yeah."
exactly.
So we kind of know what's going on, in town, and we can try to guide you in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, I know the chamber is known for bringing people together and generating tourism to our community through all the events that you do. Can you talk a little bit about the events that the chamber puts on and what we can expect this year?
absolutely. Well, we've had some amazingly successful events this year already. And when we make a decision, a lot of our events are similar, but if we make a decision to do something new, we have to really make sure that it sticks with our mission statement, that it brings value to the community. Um, so there are certain times that there's an idea that comes forth that really wouldn't make sense,
Yeah, yeah, sure,
for us to
sure.
spend our time and energy. But one cool thing we did this year was we partnered with Incognito and had two indoor farmers markets.
Oh, I saw that. I
Yeah,
was there.
you were
That was
there.
amazing.
Yeah, so we would have never thought just coming up with an idea in the winter to, fill a space that was available that we would have literally thousands of people both times coming through.
I had to wait in line so long just to get in the door. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
it
And
was
it was
crazy.
raining that day, so that's a tribute for how people wanted to come out. So,
Yeah, yeah, those were great. And our farmers market also is something that runs, from May through October. We're working with all the construction in the area, so
yeah,
we just kind of have to switch things up a bit. And we have a nice new layout this year. A lot of new vendors that did come from the winter market. So that was
great.
part of the reason for the partnership is more people that had an opportunity to meet
About how many
McWanago.
vendors do you end up with at farmers market? Is it the same every week, or is it
It kind of depends when, produce is in. It
okay?
depends what the vendor sells, but, we have approximately 60 vendors. Maybe you'll never
Wow.
see more than 50 during, like, the
Sure.
peak months or so. But, another,
What are the hours for the farmers market? Because I think you changed to extra
mm,
hours this year.
yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah.
The hours are every Wednesday from 2 to 6, and the
Okay.
first Wednesday of the month, we extended it, till 7, hoping that some people that were
Yeah.
complaining about not.
Not being there after work or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
But for the most part, we haven't really seen an increase, and I don't know if it's just that the word hasn't gotten out, but
Yeah, it's always hard that
yeah,
first
so,
year.
yeah, we're trying on the first Wednesdays to be open till 7,
Okay.
hoping to see, if we have a bigger crowd. We are
Great.
open today, and a lot of the markets, are gonna be closed this weekend, so we're
Yeah.
hoping for a good crowd.
Yeah.
Another big thing with the market is, we were able to write a grant, for SNAP, so, we are able to provide that, here in
So they can
McGuanago at
get
our
fresh
market. Yes.
vegetables, produce, all of that. That's great.
So yeah, that's been really great for us. And it's really taken off this year. The word's getting out, which is
Good.
great.
Good.
Our other events are Spring Fling that's in the spring. I know the village attends. It's a lot of fun. It's theme based. And the idea there is to get all the businesses out if they haven't met each other. And that is our fundraiser. So that's where we actually have, auction
auction and
items and
yeah, okay.
raffles and different things. And so we just had that one. It was a country themed and was went really well. Our golf event's always kind of the same group of people. You don't have to be a member, but it's mainly a lot of guys out there
Mainly a social
networking.
event,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And we had that out at Hawksview just a couple weeks ago, first time in 16 years I've ever dealt with rain during the market
Oh my
or
gosh.
during the golf event. So, but they did a great job getting people back out on the course. A couple fun new events over the past couple years have been our wine walks.
Okay.
And it's really great to have a wine walk and have people say, I didn't know we had a bowling alley in town,
Right,
or I didn't
right.
know about this. And, so it gets them into all the businesses
Yeah.
that are
Well,
participating.
good.
So those are fun. And then, of course, our signature events, the Fall Fest and the Midnight Magic, that have been
Yes.
around for a long time.
Yeah.
Those, again, we're kind of switching things up around the road construction and different things happening in Iguanaga. So you'll see both of those events just a little bit different from this year, probably for the next few years.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah.
Um, so I can imagine that when these events happen, that you basically spend your entire year planning for them. Um, is there a committee for each one of these? How do you possibly organize all of those? How does that work?
So we basically are an office of one and three-fourths. It's just myself full time. I have a part-time assistant, Megan, and then our farmers market manager, Jen. So our board of directors, and then we have a committee for every one of these events, are all volunteers. So we have over 100 volunteers that meet at these different meetings, and then we have additional volunteers, the day of the events to do different things. So yeah, the committees manage. There's a budget for
Okay.
each of these. So we can't all of a sudden decide, oh, we're gonna fly Santa in, or we're gonna do a drone show.
There's a committee that will actually determine what happens at say Fall Fest, because I think, our police department sits in on, like, Midnight Magic or Fall Fest because they are so large, and they
They
have, like, a
do.
committee, and so they must be able to provide input on, "Well, you can't shut this road down because of this or that," or, and then
Exactly.
because people probably come out with new ideas of, "Oh, what if we did this year?" And I'm
Yeah.
sure that's what you're talking about when you say, we vet ideas and new, you know, thoughts about how these committees or excuse me, events are gonna go down, but there is a process to how that happens.
There is, yeah. And so from a committee level, there is a board member that sits on every committee, which is nice because then during the board meeting once a month, they can report with me
Oh,
that it's not just
okay.
me saying this is
Saying you
what,
don't want to do something.
yeah,
It is
this is what
actually, yeah.
happened.
Okay. Well, that's good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Eh,
so I just basically, with that chair, kind of shake out what we think is doable, what would be really great and exciting, and maybe we need to do some fundraising and
Sure.
get some sponsorship for. But we do all have, they each have a committee and they each have a budget. And I really appreciate all the volunteers. They have great ideas and they're very helpful.
You just said something that reminded me. I've seen you deliver these newspapers at Midnight Magic, and they are the neatest thing. They actually have all of the stops and they have advertisements for everybody participating in it. How does that get put together?
So we partner with the Waukesha Freeman essentially um, to put that publication together. And
Okay.
so basically, the members take out advertisements,
Okay.
which offsets my editorial,
Sure.
and then they do an overdraft. They do like 6,000 extra copies for us to disperse around town. But it is put in the paper, inside the Lake Country publications that go out to different areas, surrounding areas,
Nice.
to try to again, get visitors into the
Right.
area for tourism reasons. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's and the hard thing I think with all the events, as you were asking, is we have to work so far in advance because like a deadline for the newspaper for Midnight Magic is in October. So we
Oh,
just
wow.
finished Fall Fest and you're not thinking
Yeah,
Christmas, but
I know.
we need to have everything planned in order, to promote it. So the more we can work ahead, the better off we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Let me ask you this question. How do you measure success of these events? Have, back in the olden days, we used to, count the number of people there, but I think that they have grown so much. We're beyond that ability. How do you measure success for particular events?
Oh, I actually measure success first off by just being out in the open, seeing all these families of men dancing with their kids around the square, listening to the DJ, or just, just seeing everyone come together. Um, from a like vendor perspective, I love to hear how well, some of them do. I love to get a call from a local business after Midnight Magic saying it's the best day I've ever had in 11 years. So those definitely are measures of success. It always has a lot to do with how many people are there, and it's really hard to keep track of
Yeah.
how many. So, like for the marketplace during Midnight Magic at the high school, um, you pay if you're over 18. There's just a $3 fee, so we can tally up that we
Oh,
know
sure.
over
How many?
3,000 come
Yeah.
there. We do the same clicker sometimes at farmers market to
Yep.
see, oh, there are 600 people. But with those bigger events,
They're so
people are
spread
everywhere.
out. Yeah.
It's kind of impossible unless we
Yeah.
would maybe do one of the paid,
Oh, sure.
um, you know,
Placer AI, where
yeah,
it tells you
exactly.
how people's phones are pinging from where they are and where they're
Yeah,
from.
which wouldn't be a bad idea actually,
Yeah,
but
I know.
yeah.
What event do you do that you think draws the largest crowd?
Oh, that's a hard one also, just because I'm not everywhere to really know. I would always say Midnight Magic would draw the biggest crowd. But there's so much competition that's come up in the surrounding communities over the past few years
Sure.
that we've really been trying to reinvent Midnight
How you do.
Magic.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of new ideas that committee does, and we're trying different things out. But I would
Okay.
think that definitely would be our most well attended. The other big thing too is it's honestly not all about us. You guys, all of you have so many events that we just love working with our chamber membership too,
Yeah.
to help them with their events. Because there are, at any given time, if you come into the chamber office, we could have 20 flyers of things that are just happening the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we want to make sure that, I know that we've got National Night Out coming up in the St. James, Festival, and we're always trying to keep all of those in mind too
Yeah.
and help promote.
Absolutely. So, as executive director, you probably see or hear things that the rest of us don't. But what are some of the new exciting developments that you know are going on this year?
Well, there'd be too many. It's been quite a year, hasn't it?
It
Yeah.
has. And I just
Um,
saw Elegant Farmer came forward with their proposal. So we are very, very excited about the banquet facility that they're doing there. That's on this next month's plan commission.
I
So,
was so excited to see that
yes,
yesterday too, but
yes.
I mean, I'd have to say some notable developments that we've had is our new brunch spot in town.
Oh,
The
yes.
boat,
Morning
yeah,
crumbs.
and then
Yep.
the boutique, that we also have downtown.
House of Frank.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the salon and spa
Oh, Journey. A
journey.
beautiful build out.
Yep. Also the new workout facility.
Burn boot camp and perfectly fit. So, or perfect fit, excuse me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and the thrift shop that's opening on
Colby's.
Monday. Yeah,
Yes.
so and then I also was gonna mention just the new venue, and then there's a lot of expansions that are happening at
Yes.
different businesses, so it's just been a really exciting
It
year.
really is. And given everything going on, I'm just so excited and thankful for the investment these people are making.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
For example, we have a ribbon cutting tonight, we have one on Monday. I mean, there's just always something,
Yeah.
happening, so.
So, so that brings me to another question for ribbon cutting. If someone is opening a new business and they would like to have a ribbon cutting, can they call the chamber and work with you on that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a lot of times, when we get involved with a groundbreaking or a ribbon cutting, they may not have joined the membership yet,
Yet,
but I
yeah,
still get involved with those things because I want them to get to know us and hopefully
yeah,
eventually
right.
become a member. Yeah.
Show the value and be able to establish that relationship early
And
on.
some actually decide they don't want to have it right off. They're not ready. Their, build out isn't
Sure.
complete. So it might be 6 months or a year,
Yeah.
but we still will accommodate,
Oh, that's
at
nice.
that point. So, um,
So what What do you think? Are there any challenges that the business community is facing right now?
I think it'll be definitely some of the construction
Yeah.
that we've got going on, but it's all healthy in the end with
Yeah.
new developments
In
and
the
new
next few
school and
years. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
but just more than I about the water and
Oh, yeah.
sewer and all of
Yep.
those things.
All of those.
Um, there's- I think it's just important that we partner together to make sure when things are happening on the north end that we're promoting those businesses and highlighting them maybe a little differently than we have in the past, so
Yeah.
that people know they're open for business. And
I know the new Marshview Drive is going in here shortly. We're opening bids this week. And we do have the one facility coming forward for Bear Crossing, where the old Kiwanis parking lot.
yes,
So that'll be starting up. So that'll be exciting to see what goes there over the
absolutely,
next 12 months. So,
yeah.
well, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like residents, visitors, or business owners to know about the Chamber of Commerce?
Thank you. I think it's just it's hard for I think any of us to know how to communicate with residents and things now that we don't have a newspaper for so long. So it's hard if someone's not on social media, where do they go? But I really think if you can follow the calendar on the chamber website, all of the members send their information to us, and we put it out there so that there's a good chance that you'll see it there. Follow our Facebook page if
Yep.
there's inclement weather and something's being canceled. We try to get it out there, and
Perfect.
also always tag us if you're a business.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and that way, we know that we should repost. So
Yeah.
we're trying hard for there to be like a central location for just the general public or residents to the area
Support that these businesses
to
have.
come out
Yeah.
and yeah.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, follow our Facebook page and
Well, April, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today and for everything you do. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to learn more about the Mukwonago Area Chamber of Commerce and their upcoming events, membership opportunities, or new businesses, be sure to visit the Chamber's website or their Facebook page. Until next time, we are signing off from the Den.